DISCS has been releasing new discs all the time. They actually just released the Captain's Thrasher, which I saw, and DISCS, if you're watching this video, please send me one. I would love to review it. But today I have two different packages they sent me in like a couple weeks time that we're gonna review over 18 holes, starting with what's in this box. Because we're at Owl's Den Disc Golf Course. I haven't actually played this on the channel in a while. It's one of my favorite local courses, and we're gonna change some things up for how we review discs today. You see, instead of focusing on an overall score, every single disc that we play with, we're gonna have to birdie, otherwise we give it away. The first disc I'm gonna give away to somebody in person at the course today, and then the rest of them will go in a giveaway over on Patreon. And to make things a little more difficult, because it is Denver, there's not a ton of trees, this course does have some, we're gonna roll a die, which today's gonna be virtual, hopefully we'll eventually have a physical one, that tells us how many hyzers, just straight up stall hyzer or spike hyzers, I can throw during a round. So we actually have to throw some difficult shot shapes. That being said, the first disc that we're gonna be taking a look at on the front nine are going to be these 5. We have another box in here that has another 5 that we'll take a look at on the back 9. And if we can't birdie with all these on the front 9, we have to wait until we birdie with every single one of those discs on the back 9 to throw one of these again. Now I know that this all might sound a little bit complicated, but I think it's a better way than an overall score, because the discs will get given away if they're not good enough to come home with me because they don't get a birdie. I don't have a name for this style of review, but it'll probably only be with, I have anywhere between 3 to 6 discs to review. Anything above like 5 discs is gonna be hard to do with this because it's hard to birdie with every single disc. But if there are par 4s, like there are a couple on this back 9, every disc that is used during that par 4 as a throw, not as a putt, but as a throw, will count if we do get a birdie. And so far on the front 9, these are all the discs. So I found an online dice roller. What I decided is for 18 hole videos, we're gonna roll a D12. So that means it's 12-sided dice. And for 9 hole videos, we'll roll a D6. Throwing hyzers makes birdies a lot easier. 1 12-sided die, and we got 7. You know what? That's too many. We'll just roll a 6 or a 3-sided die. 4. 4 is the number of hyzers. 7 sounded like too many. I'm honestly very excited about throwing the second one, which is a new blend of an old plastic. The first thing, well, it's also a new blend of an old plastic. DISCS is coming out with a lot of new plastics on their old discs, which, hey, they have an updated Jawbreaker blend on their Roach right here, but it feels honestly a little stiffer than the other Jawbreakers that I felt before, so maybe that'll be nice. I think it'll actually be really nice for putting. The Roach, I think, is a good putter. It's not quite as deep as a Luna. And then on top of that, we have some Lunas, which are the new putter blends. We have a soft blend, which is actually relatively gummy, and a hard blend Luna. We'll try putting with all those at some point today, see which one we like. We have a Big Z Kratos, which just came out, and the new ESP First Run Swarm, which I'm so excited to have because AB was loving this when I was playing with him. This is 170 to 172, not max weight, but with how short a lot of this front 9 is, I think we should be able to get a birdie luck on every hole except for maybe 5. So hopefully we get a birdie with all 5 of these before the front 9 is gone. I think it'll probably just be good to call this series Birdie or Die, because the disc is gonna be dead to me if it doesn't birdie. Hole 1, straight ahead, 276. I think it'd be a little silly for us to use one of our hyzers on this one, so we'll actually throw the soft Luna first. And we'll go 2 off the top. Whichever one we take will be the only one that we allow the birdie for. But this feels a little small for a Luna. These feel the same. This feels a little smaller, I think, just because the thumb sits a little more in the flight plate because it's a softer plastic. New way to show the weight too. I love throwing new discs. I have not thrown Lunas in a while, and they've all been premium, which is why I think premium putters always feel bigger than base putters. So that's probably why. Soft disc first. That's pretty nice. Try to ace with this one. That's another rule. Aces or eagles mean I get to keep every disc because those are very rare. Oh, it's nuts. Oh man. Guess what? The Lunas, they flew like straight putters. I know the numbers, I think they say like 3303 or something. I'm gonna have to look at those, see if they ever updated them. 3402, 02 is still a little generous for me. The hard blend, the new hard blend, doesn't feel super hard. It just feels normal, kind of, to be honest with you. But what's good about that is like, it's still like stiff. Like it's not gonna flex much, but it's still tacky and grippy, and something with a 0 hard, like from Latitude 64. When I used to putt with Pures, the 0 hard was always not grippy enough for me. Ooh, I might have to try to putt with these. This actually feels really good as a putter. This is very soft though. Not too gummy though. Like, this might not be hard enough for what some people want their hard plastics to be, but for me, this is kind of the perfect hard and soft plastic. If you call it a soft putter plastic and hard putter plastic, that's what I would want. Not gonna lie, part of me forgot a little bit about this hole. Also, big shout out Justin, I just met him, sweet guy. This one's a little far. I think I can still reach it with putter. It's right down here. T-sign says 346, which is because UDIS says that. But I've ranged it like 4 times because I keep seeing this and I never believe it, and it's actually 375. So I think we're gonna try out the Big Z Kratos, which definitely If you guys don't know the Kratos, it's another Paul Macbeth line disc, and it is like, this is a Luna, this is a Kratos. If you take the Luna and you add a little bead on the bottom of it, you have a Kratos. It's gonna be a little more stable, and because it's premium plastic, I think I can torque into it a little bit harder. Little turnover through this gap, not using a hyzer again. Oh, it's really stable. Wow. So I've thrown the Kratos before. I've had a couple of them. Then I brought another one. Here's a base one, which was when they were the test flights. Did have a premium one, and it wasn't quite that stable. So that big Z one flies kind of how you'd like it. Like that one's kind of flying like those Lunas, but a little stability at the end, which is kind of how I thought the other one would fly. Pretty sure I threw it just about pin high. I'll take these Lunas. I think I'll putt with this one. Hard blend putter line. So apparently this is in the Kratos, Luna, and the Fierce. They have their just regular putter line and then a hard and a soft. I don't really feel like this is harder than the regular putter line, which is what this Kratos is. Just kidding, I lied, it is. It's not a massive difference, but if you're like, man, I want this to be a little harder, the hard putter line is gonna be better. And if you want it to be a little softer, or maybe a good bit softer, the soft is definitely gonna work out for you. I am so great at anhyzer putts, it's not even funny. I never miss them ever in my life. I'm not too worried about the Kratos getting a birdie. I love the way that thing flies. I think the Roach on this next hole, but any of these putters could work. The Roach feels very similar to the Luna on the top. The bottom's just a little deeper and a little more round. The Roach does have a micro bead as well. 2401. We don't need anything crazy. Let's go. That was smooth. A couple added benefits I think will come from doing these birdie or die style reviews is one, getting reaccustomed to a lot more different angles. Right now I feel like I've been throwing everything on like a very stock hyzer angle. And in my head I'm like, I have to throw it on this angle instead of trusting myself that I can throw on different angles. And then I've thrown all these on not hyzer angles and they're still fine shots. Two, this is a really good mental trick because I'm thinking about every hole as a new hole instead of as a part of a round. I'm one down for the round, but I'm not thinking about that at all. All I'm thinking about is I need to birdie this hole with this new disc, and that new challenge will honestly probably lead to a better score than if I was to say, hey, my average score here, I typically will shoot around 7 down, so we gotta try to shoot 7 down or better. I wonder if treating it like this, I'll shoot better than 7 down, even with new discs, because I'm focusing so much more on every single shot. Soft Luna, Jawbreaker Roach, birdie birdie. Hole 4 is 303 feet, and we do have not a lot of headwind, but a little bit. Makes me think we should throw the Swarm. Part of me wants to really try to force it over on a forehand, but first forehands of the day don't typically go too well. I think I'm gonna try to drag it left to right around that tree, see how overstable it can be, and have it finish back left, because the headwind definitely can still reach it with those discs, but it'll be easier with with something a little faster. Whoa, that is overstable. Holy crap. Wow, I honestly thought I threw that really well. Well, I thought especially in that headwind that it would hold a little bit, but wow, that thing is nice and beefy. You're a lot more angled than that. Distance control is pretty spot on. Not a bad bid. This next hole, if we get an outside birdie look, phenomenal. I'm really gonna focus on the 4 holes after it to try to get our 3 remaining birdies. One thing that is nice right now about this Swarm, here's the profile of it, by the way. While we're waiting, I'll just show you, in case you're wondering at all. Profile of Kratos, subtle bead. Profile of the Roach, even subtler bead. And then the Luna, which is very similar to the Roach. I've heard Paul just wanted something ever so slightly different, and definitely is, at least to me. What's nice about this Swarm right now is seeing how overstable it was even against that wind. I threw it on anhyzer, but I didn't really commit to pull it over on anhyzer because I didn't think I needed to. What's nice about here is this is a tough hole, 375, but got a little bit of a left to right, and this thing being so overstable, if I pull it high, like kind of almost this angle, through the left side of this gap, it can get back to stability and skip up and maybe even go as a putt on this one. And if we could birdie this hole with the Swarm, we're looking good. Well, I missed the line a little high. I think it would have been all right. I got a really long look. This disc is so interesting to me because I don't really throw anything in this slot. I throw zones, but I don't have an overstable mid-range. Oh, Part Town. I think we're gonna finish off the Luna next, and then we might have to use one of our hyzers. You know what? It's too much headwind. We're going Swarm again, and this time we're getting the birdie. 265 right there. Little wind, this thing is stable though. A little bit of a flexy forehand. Oh, shorty. All right, thanks guys. I'm still not giving that thing enough credit. That one almost was like an accidental hyzer because of how fast it got out of it. Even though I released it, at least what I felt was like flat to Annie. I thought this like head left to right, it would keep it over. Good old headwind. The saving grace of the back nine is there's 3 par 4s. So as long as we birdie a couple of them, we'll use 4 total discs. Of course I can reuse whatever I want, but I'm trying to birdie with all these guys. Really should have made that putt. But we have 227 feet, and I think we're gonna use one of our 4 hyzers. Whew. This is making me start to be nervous. Someone almost nailed my camera. All right. I think that one's good. So it looks like we're struggling with overstability today because I'm 3 for 3 on park jobs with the straight to understable putters. I'm up here, is this technically still in the lie? Man, would it feel bad to waste a hyzer. 2 holes on the front 9, and we have the Kratos and the Swarm left to birdie. Let's hope this is not an omen for my shot. Tailwind, it's 283. Basically straight tail, which is gonna make it stable out even more. Just trying to pull this left to right from the back of the pad over here. Go, 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 go. Ooh, I got a little bit of a kick backwards. It does still have that Luna DNA where it just like wants to stay high. And I think that has to do with a little bit of the dome. We're almost pin high from about 25 feet that we should be able to convert on this birdie. That felt really good. Could have posed anything else. 2 missed in the circle, causing us to not already be birdied out with the front 5 discs. We better birdie these par 4s. 241, straight ahead. Going the same direction as the last hole, so pretty straight tailwind. I think it's gotta be a Swarm, and I think we gotta throw a forehand. Yes, dude. Finally turned it over. Now sit. Putting straight headwind again, just like the last Swarm putt, but this one's nice and close. I think we're going roach. It's gotta be. Easy putt. Yes, dude. Thank you, Swarm. It is very unstable. 4 of the 5 discs done, which makes me feel pretty good. We're also 4 down, which is a nice consequence. And I think we have this hole is a par 4, 3 holes from now is a par 4, and hole 17 is a par 4. And I kept 3 hyzers intact, which I'm pretty happy about because I could hyzer on every single hole over there. So the wind is starting to pick up, and it's kind of like faking a storm a little bit. There's like a cloud that's been roaming everywhere. It's brought some wind with it, but there's no thunder or lightning anywhere. All that being said, we're gonna keep the Kratos. Actually, this is gonna be like the box of shame right there. Stay there, because you need a birdie. And the next package that DISCS sent me is all about a new version of their titanium plastic. I have here one of their old titanium Undertakers, so we'll be able to compare it. I think we're still gonna be putting with probably the Roach, but they sent me actually a really good assortment of discs. Titanium Raptor, they also call it TI sometimes, you'll hear. It's very actually board flat. It feels like it's gonna be pretty overstable. A Scorch 11.6 -2.2, which might actually be the bomber today, just because it's a little understable. It feels, the difference I've noticed is, feels a little slicker, honestly, than this old one. This feels actually a little tackier, but this feels a little softer and gummier. Maybe it's a difference in like plastic manufacturing. It also has a little bit more of a shine to it, like a little bit more of a glimmer. We have a Venom 12.503 and a Zone in this new plastic, and they also threw in a Page Pierce Drive. So I honestly forgot which discs were in here. I knew that they had the Zone and the Drive, but these other 3 are gonna be nice because this back 9 is definitely longer than the front 9. 631 foot par 4 to get us started. This, part of me in this tailwind really wants to try this big over the top line, and there's no water, so I might actually do it. There's some bunkers up by the green which play as hazard, which make this hole a little more difficult. My typical play is just a big hyzer that way, and there is the right wind for it, but we're gonna be silly, because I'm not about to use a hyzer, baby. The Scorch feels very round in this plastic. Even the bottom feels super round. Is it coming out of it? Oh no. I was just looking for ages in there for my disc. I hope you guys can see what happened to it. The viewfinder's too small for me to be able to see, and you can't zoom in. I was looking forever, instead of just thinking that I might have gotten through, because I have a wide open look from here. Wow, why did I not just come here sooner? Like, this is kind of close to my normal landing zone on this hole. Just throwing the normal hyzer, but this time we didn't have to use a hyzer. This feels like honestly close to TI Flex. It's not. but it feels like it's more, like way more flexy. I honestly think I prefer this old titanium to the new one, just off first impressions. But for people who like it a little slicker or a little gummier, they're gonna love this. Got a big left to right. So instead of just wasting another hyzer, we're gonna try to throw this on an anhyzer that gets to the left of the basket, because to the right is where one of those hazard areas are. That's where the other one is. That's where the other hazard zone is. Oh man. If you throw an anhyzer into left to right, it's gonna beat it straight down. The no hyzer rule is honestly pretty tough, because this, like 100%, I should have just thrown a disc right under the basket. Maybe I could have thrown an anhyzer, but I can't throw the Kratos yet. Oh my gosh, that drop. There maybe should be punishment for a bogey. If the top comment on this video is a good punishment for a bogey, we'll implement it. Otherwise, no punishment for bogeys. We're just focusing on getting birdies with all the discs. Wow, wind, why did you have to come out right now? I think this hole is a little flex raptor forehand. Okay, it's not crazy beef, so that's good. Dig, dig. If we don't make this putt, we have 6 discs and 7 holes, with 9 chances to keep them because of the 2 par 4s. I'm glad Discraft calls these 9403, because it's definitely a step down from a Firebird. Then the cap wrap is like 9215 or something, which is definitely a step up from the Firebird. What the heck was that putt? I aimed that putt right here, and it just caught it the whole way. Why? What is this win for? Why do you hate me so much when I come to review discs? I'm starting to realize I kind of played this the wrong way at the start. I was just trying to save the easy discs rather than the discs that I wanted to keep, which would definitely be Swarm, Kratos, and then one of the putters. But instead I got the putters all done first. So I might have to rethink that for the next time I come and play here. The discs I'm most excited about keeping, I need to make sure that those are safe first. That being said, we have a par 4 here, 730 feet. There's a road out there right, and for the fact that I didn't save anything on that other par 4, I really don't want to play it as OB, but I always play it as OB. So we're not changing that today. Typically I'll play a big over the top, but because of this right to left tailwind, I'm just gonna throw a hyzer. I'm gonna use one of my other hyzers for the scorch, and then hopefully get myself in good position. I think I saw where it landed. I saw none of it in the air. That is so much wind. I'm not gonna throw the drop. I'm gonna throw it, why not? See, it flies good. I don't know why I don't like it that much. This is not terrible. Got 318 into the basket. I think I can reach it with most things, especially with how much wind there is. We have that OB right on the path. It's making me think we just throw the zone. That way we keep the scorch in the zone. We lose another hyzer, and we'll only have 1 left. I think it's doable. We have to make sure that we capitalize though. This wind is not being very nice to me today. Did I hit the log? Oh no. Oh no, I think I hit the log that kept it short. That is a little devastating. We have to make this putt, otherwise we're down to 1 hyzer for nothing. Come on, big tailwind, high right, with plenty of spin. Oh, I'm nervous, I'm so nervous. Come on, Roach. Drop in there. Oh, so clutch. Oh, let's go. Zone and scorch are saved. Wow. I love you so much right now. It's got me feeling like Colin Hanley at Beaver State Fling on that putt. Equally consequential too. You know, first Elite Series win, stupid YouTube challenge. We're basically the same. Oh baby, that was massive. We're only on hole 13, so we have 6 holes to play, 7 opportunities. Venom, drive, Raptor, left. And the Kratos, obviously, and I really want to keep the Kratos. I think we're gonna go flex forehand with this Raptor. Wind is a little left to righty. Basket's kind of in line with that tree, about 300 feet away. Oh, that looks so good. Probably a little short. I love this style of review. This is so much more fun than just doing it stroke play. If you're a company, you want to send me some stuff, give me 4 or 5 discs, we'll do 9 holes. Give me like 8 or 10, we'll do 18. This is a blast. Birdie or die is the only way to go from here on out for these reviews. Not the only way, but oh, if I can help it, I'm doing more of these. Cresting the hill just to see that I landed about 28 feet short. Let's go. Not necessarily driver holes in these next couple of holes. So, you know what? Before we get out there, see how far they go and see kind of how they fly, because I don't know if we'll get to see them fully, and I do want to see how they fly compared to one another. And I'm not going to try to pump them as hard as I can. I'm going to try to throw them on what I think will be more straight than not golf lines. All right, we'll go scorch first. So the wind, show you with a little chum chalk bag, it's kind of coming mostly left to right. I think in this left to right, we're just going to throw it flat and give it enough air to turn. And by flat, I mean a little hyzer. It's gonna drift, and wow, that's kind of impressive. It kind of fought out of it, so it slid on that line. That was very low. I got my last step a little long. We'll go drive next. Oh, it feels like it's got Scorch DNA in it. It feels like a little bit of a Scorch OS. Maybe that is what it is, but we'll see. A little, not as low. Ooh, that's pretty money. Baby hyzer out of the hand. Full flight, a little bit of nose up, so it's not even quite as far as the first one. That's a nice flight. I think Paige is right, like that is a disc that most people can probably get an S shape out of. You might have to throw it a little flatter, a little more anhyzer, but it's gonna glide in that line. Now for the Venom, 13503. AB calls it his control driver. It honestly feels close to a 12 speed, not quite as big as a 13 speed in my opinion. I hope this is pretty beef. It is. That's nice. So, kind of unsurprising, the flippiest one went the farthest, also the one that kind of was nose down for the majority of its flight. All right, 245. I think we're going Venom, fastest disc. Whoa. That might have got through to a putt. Okay, it's not as it's not, I guess that makes sense. It kind of was gliding a little bit on that, but I thought it was honestly gonna stable out before the tree, and it went on the other side. So, try to ace it with one of these guys. I'll show you if it's good, otherwise we'll just cut to the next thing. I made it with the roach. Come on. Oh, what the heck? The roach was really the only good one. Still a little low. 45 feet up a hill. Easy roach putt. Oh, got our basket right through there. 2 ways to get to this hole. I'm gonna move you guys a little so you can just see them. We have this straight gap, which finishes a little. It's 270. We have a left to right, which makes the forehand play much more daunting, but we could try to go right up the middle here, or between these couple trees. I think drive on the backhand, pushing straight, but throwing a backhand that's not a hyzer through such a small gap, I'm not great at. So I think we're gonna go Venom on anhyzer and just try not to hit the tree that you can already see has a billion tree marks or disc marks on it. Oh, I was not going for that gap, but I'll take it. Swing. That's a putt, going for the left gap. So kind of glad I early released it a little, just for fun. Let's see if I can get the swarm down the center gap since it's so overstable. It's really good for the short position. These 2 holes, this one and the next one, I knew were gonna be tough for putts, which makes it tough because if I can't use the Kratos on 17, I'm throwing a really fast disc for an under 200 foot approach if I throw a good drive. Yes, come on. 2 more discs. If we get this next one with the drive, well, no matter what, we can throw both of them. I think we might win the first ever Bird Your Die. The course is looking beautiful today. Whoever's been maintaining it, like major props. There is this big over the top route, which I think is safe, but no one wants to see that. We want to see the pure route, which there's a left to right. I'm not counting hyzer flips as hyzers, obviously, because I'm basically just talking about one angle shots. But if I throw it like on a little hyzer and it like goes basically straight, that's not a hyzer to me. I'm basically throwing either a straight shot or like a hyzer flip, just for clarification on the rules. Under! It's through! Yes, we got a putt. Wow. I see why everyone likes that disc. That is a really sick disc. Touch of hyzer. I thought it was gonna stay through the gap, but it had a little late turn to it. Okay, Paige made a good disc. And we got a lot of open space here, so we got a lot of left to right wind, but we have a roach. You ever hear of the new Jawbreaker Blend roach? Basket has. So left to right, it's supposed to drop. Hole 17, par 4, 450. 99% sure in tournaments they call it a par 4. You just get might be a par 3, but it is a par 4. It's not really a twoable hole. Yeah, this does have it a par 4 as well on U-Disc, so. But really, we just need to throw a hyzer flip up this middle gap. And then we saved a hyzer, so we can throw a hyzer for the last shot. But really, just get through this first gap, smooth and flat. No! Oh gosh, what's the slippage? Hit something. I should have probably looked to see that this is the dustiest tee pad ever. But it is, it is. Honestly, with that little slip and the unintentional hyzer to still get through this gap, I'm very happy. And I do think, like I said, we have less than 200 in. It's just gonna matter if we have a couple branches in our way to have an open look. So this is not good. That's where we landed. The basket is up through here. Whew. There is like a small hyzer gap down this way, but that'd be like a skip. Kratos. Technically, I don't have to throw the Kratos because we're not in the front nine, so like I can throw whatever. Birdie with everything else. Oh, forehand roller? Oh man, I really don't like this. Throw a little flexi forehand over the top of everything, and it should glide there. I think that has to be the play. Man, this is a little nerve-wracking. Please be stable. Pan, 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 pan. No! That was so close to being so perfect. Wow, it was not overstable enough. I needed it to pan a little. I thought I threw it perfect. A little less angle would have worked better. I'm pretty sure it landed within about 15 feet and then bounced down the hill to a 35-foot uphill putt. So this is a pretty consequential putt. Oh no. I want to see what part of the ground it hit so that I can hit it back. Are you serious, bro? This is my lie now. There's technically a way to get up there. Less than ideal. I gotta set you guys up here. There's a tailwind coming up the hill too. I have to aim here. Oh. If there was no tailwind, that's in 100% of the time. Still got a birdie with the drive, otherwise 2 of these are going away. I am glad I didn't try a hyzer on that hole and mess it up, because that means I do have 1 hyzer left for this shot. 11.5 -1-2, Paige Pierce drive, 333 feet, headwind, hyzer through this gap. If we make it, I get to keep the Kratos too. If we miss it and I birdie, Kratos is gone. If I don't birdie, this is gone too. It's all right, we got it. Birdie at least, but get it out there and skip it in, man. Come on, you can do it. That's not a bad line. That is not a bad line. Oh, it's so, oh gosh. I thought I threw that so soft and it is cooked. Well, I'm gonna throw a parting shot with Kratos. Bye, buddy. That might have been my parting shot with the drive, depending on if I can make a 55-footer. Classic, threw it into a tree. Oh, too much hyzer, no flat. It's not too bad. I think I shot like 6 down, maybe 5 down, something like that. I'll make this putt first. I'll absolutely be doing more birdie or die reviews. And that being said, let's go see if someone recognizes me from the channel. We'll make sure they're subscribed. While they're doing that, you guys make sure you're subscribed. We'd love to be at 50,000 pretty soon, maybe by my baby. We'll see which one of these they want, and the other one will be given away over on Patreon. All right, are you a subscriber?
I am. How's it going?
What's your name?
Edgar.
All right, bro, prove it to me, and you get to choose whichever one of these discs you want.
I actually don't have my phone. I left it in the truck.
Do you promise?
I promise, brother.
Do you promise?
I told her as soon as I came, I was like...
I'm just playing.
Which one do you like better?
Oh, it's up to you, man.
All right.
Which one? What do you prefer to throw? This is kind of like a kind of stable putter, not super overstable, but kind of stable, and then the drive is kind of a bomber 11 speed. So either one.
I think I'll try this bad boy right here.
Sick.
Try this drive.
Good.
Right on. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, Edgar.
Take it easy.
Have a good one. So that means Kratos going to a Patreon. You cannot believe I didn't birdie with them. We'll get them all next time. Every single review I've ever done now, I'm second guessing because I should have done it like this.